Okay, part 6. I'm going to do this because I just don't want to write a lot of video descriptions and a lot of great comments. Of course, there's still no Braverman. Couple of things. One is transition planning. Should the flag bearer here go down in the good fight, what's the transition plan? And so I thought that would be a good topic to cover, and then also just how to understand this all if you're a new user. So the first, I'm going to do that one first. First, imagine that I'm going to put you in the role of going to Arkansas for the first time with Bill and Hillary. And your objective is to become president and then take over the world, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to teach at the law school for 1 year. You've got outside support now because you've got people in Washington that want you to be successful. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your stripes as a lawyer, and Hillary's your backup because you're already both lawyers, but Hillary is got a huge team in Washington behind her for everything you do. So you're going to then become the Attorney General. That's the first job, is to become the Attorney General. You notice I never use pictures of Bill. The reason why you become Attorney General is then you can go around, and I'm going to just say these are different businesses in Arkansas, and you can look at all the cases in Arkansas. You can say, look, either you pay us the $50,000 or we move ahead and put you away for 5 years, or whatever it was. But that's an easy, quick way, of extorting money to get your campaign finances going. And you're going to do that for 2 years, your first 2 years in Arkansas. So extortion's the main way around, and you're using one department, one state department to generate all that revenue. Then you run for governor, okay? And you make a bunch of promises to a bunch of people. And now let's just say all these are, constituents. What you're going to do now is, in Arkansas, is you're going to issue bonds. And they did. There was Arkansas Development Foundation or Federation or whatever agency, development agency. Anyway, it was supposed to be a thing that lent money to schools and hospitals. Well, you go to Wall Street, you sell a whole bunch of bonds, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of bonds. Okay, the money comes into your account. Now you say, if you want $1 million loan, let's say David Petraeus is living in Arkansas. If you want $1 million loan, send Rose Law Firm a $50,000 filing fee, and we'll send you the $1 million. And guess what? You never have to make a payment on the loan. So if you're Tyson's Chicken, let's say this Blumenthal here is Tyson's Chicken, and you want $10 million loan to build a new plant, then you pay Rose Law Firm $500,000. And that's exactly what happened. Okay, so her partner, Webb is going to be the person who proposes Arkansas Development Foundation, and the person who oversees it and audits it is going to be the Rose Law Firm. So they're overseeing themselves, the same thing we have now with Kadzik overseeing the investigation of the Clinton Foundation. Okay, so once you get into the power, instead of just having one state department, you've got now 12 state departments. I'm going to just use each one of these people as to represent a different Department of State. So let's say Eric Braverman's the Department of Environmental Quality. You go out to all the different businesses that are using hazardous waste and so forth. You say, look, we'll either shut you down or we get a $50,000 donation. Same thing for, forestry. You go out and say, you got bad practices. We're going to cut off funding the roads if we don't get a foundation donation. So you just basically go around from every department and say, here's your quota, bring it back in, and then that's pretty much it. Then, if that isn't enough money for your ambitions, remember you're gonna win 6 times in a row, so you're gonna be 12 years in a row in Arkansas. You can say, well, hey, we got some state land out here. Why don't we sell that to a diamond mine? Then we'll make some money on that. Give us $500,000. We've got an airport down south that could fly in drugs. Why don't we work? Let's say this is Oliver North. Why don't we work with Oliver North and George H.W. Bush in 1982, and we'll have planes land out there and bring in then the drugs, and we'll fly the planes back, leaving with arms. And we'll get a commission on everything coming and going. So that's where she kind of started making money in arms sales and started making money with the drug sales. So you just then have to take that money, because it's going to be stacking up every month. $100 million is going to be coming in. Where are you going to put that money? To money laundering people, $100 million going through the state of Arkansas is going to be like an elephant going through a python. You know, it's going to be obvious to watch it go through. So you have to put it into a state account that gets a lot of money, like the Arkansas Development Foundation or Federation or whatever they call it, ADFA, I think. And then you're going to clean it out at the end of the month. They're going to zero it out. You're going to clean it out. You're going to send it to a couple of different banks in Georgia and Florida to launder the money. So that's the basic cycle here. And then prepare for the next election. You're going to use your friends, like the Attorney General, let's say. If anybody pipes up and starts talking, you're going to threaten to sue them, put them in jail. Or if anybody starts getting too uppity, then you'd send out the Arkansas State Police to crack down on, break some legs or kill them. And all those things happen. So when the Clintons go to Washington, they basically take this whole cast of characters from the state departments to Washington. And I'm not kidding. I mean, all the same characters. So the same enforcement characters, the same people that are beating people up and killing people, the same Attorney General, Webb is going to go and go to the Department of Justice. You're going to work with lawyers like Jack Quinn to get in some new cast of characters. You know, some positions you're going to upgrade, okay, like Eric Holder at Attorney General and so forth. But that's basically the strategy. Is now it just plays out on a world scale. You just use every department of the U.S. government to do the same thing, only on a 50-state scale for the domestic departments. And for things like the State Department, each country is also like a state. So instead of just 50 states, though, instead of just 50 countries, I mean, there's 120 countries. And you use your ambassadors. Your ambassadors now to each country are the ones with a quota. And they're supposed to go in and get so much from the Pepsi bottling rich guy, and get so much from the Coke guy, and get so much from the guy who's buying arms. And if he doesn't buy arms, we'll put some stingers in there. This is like Algeria. We'll fund the rebels. We'll take the Fast and Furious weapons from over here, Mark Turry. We'll send them over to Algeria. We'll start shooting some planes down. We'll get the king of Algeria there to do a $1.4 billion arms deal at the end of 2010. So we always can make a deal happen. If we don't get cooperation, we can always. So this extortion goes all the way back to Bill's first 2 years as Attorney General.